So I recalibrated the Charnitrix with my own Galvan mind, making it a sleeker model and giving him 5 aliens from the Alien Force playlist. Now in actual Charnitrix lore, Ben never takes off the watch, but it indeed grows with him and changes, getting bigger and becoming more like a gauntlet. But for the sake of this video, let's pretend it did recalibrate as we go into 5 new aliens that we get from the watch. We got through 2 of them on stream and chat named our Chromastone and Big Chill transformation. Let's go. Starting with our Chromastone transformation known as Crystallad. She is the jagged Sugalite transformation from the watch. She has all the powers of Chromastone, but of course her personality isn't very sweet. She has a hero or savior complex innately. It might be in relation to Crystallad being the Petrosapien Jesus of the Ben 10 world. She does very little to restrain herself, however, from Ben, and knows that it is in her DNA to revive an entirely dead planet, which is Petropia. She seems to be more akin to an energy vampire than a conductor like our main Chromastone, something like Michael Morningstar. Icebite, who is our Necrophrygian DNA sample, has all the ghastly abilities that we know and love. However, her major mission is for Ben to and the purpose of that is for her to be able to continue the Necrophrygian race. But unbeknownst to her, the Necrophrygian biology doesn't need two to tango, and everyone kind of gets weirded out when she finally has her little Necrophrygian babies, knowing of her not so PG intentions for Ben. She totally pinned it on him, by the way, even though it's not true. Okay, so for the next 3 aliens, you guys get the privilege of naming them in the comment section below. And after this video, we'll pick them and post them on a community tab. So, Humongosaur is the Vaxosaurian DNA sample who is monstrous and feral. She's a strong and beastly girl who is also an incredible fighter who would resort to any means necessary to beat her opponents. She is very ravenous, and if she doesn't satiate her bloodlust when summoned, she turns on Ben, probably a major reason for his scars, or any potential broken limbs. Swampfire is the Methanosian DNA sample. She is very creepy and distorted. She takes battles head on, but she can be very sneaky, and once she's summoned, she uses her plant-like abilities to disappear into nearby foliage. She primarily does this in order to trap and ensnare Ben unsuspectingly, as she likes to hold and smother him. So as a countermeasure to this, Ben just doesn't use her in forests, as she always has her primary sights set on him. Goop is the polymorph of the watch, and boy oh boy, she isn't the prettiest, not in her feral form at least. But otherwise, she is pretty shy and docile, not very interested in combat, unlike the other aliens. She tries to be very gentle with Ben, but that never works because, I mean, she's made of acid, and this drives her to morph into her feral form, where she will either try to absorb Ben and make him a part of her body, or end up returning to the Charnitrix itself. There's no winning for the poor guy. Now for a short lore dump, Jirarkin has made some more designs for Ben from Classic, Alien Force, and Omniverse. Age reflecting Ben at ages 10 to 11, 15 to 16, and lastly at age 18 to 19. I like the development, and I really like the art style and how much the watch actually grows with Ben, as it looks very cool, but it looks immensely painful. However, by the time he's at Omniverse, he seems to be getting a better hang of controlling the power of the watch. The changes in each expression as well is so cool. For example, he's so frightened when he has just gotten the watch. He is a little depressive, giving a kind of I'm tired of this kind of vibe when he's 15, and when he's on to Omniverse, he seems to be enjoying the watch's power a lot more. We also get a design for Azimuth in his mech suit, and it looks sick. I love the pink designs on it, and it looks super dope. It might actually give him some more capability during battle, and some sus capabilities as well, like what we would expect from this version of Pervy Azimuth. However, another piece that has dropped from the AU is Vilgax, and oh boy, I've been waiting for some lore on him. So in the Charnitrix universe, Vilgaxia, his home planet, is very conservative and religious, which is very interesting and already quite the opposite to how Azimuth and the Charnitrix operate. The inhabitants of the planet of Vilgaxia believe that any impurities that are in the galaxy should be punished and cleansed by their hands, sort of like those holy knights we see in Crusade memes. When he learned about Azimuth and his odd reputation of being pervert numero uno, he had a pretty righteous outlook on it and wanted to rehabilitate Azimuth. But of course, he ended up finding out about the Charnitrix itself, and it had him erupting in anger, remarking that the Charnitrix is a sinful and heinous creation. He also noted that it would throw the universe into utter chaos, and vowed to do anything possible to stop that from happening. Now, I love this version of Vilgax and how his motives aren't pro-universal domination, but for the protection of the universe. This is quite a cool reversal with him and Azimuth from the classic having Vilgax with a more morally righteous motive, while Azimuth has a very self-serving and degenerate motive. Firstly, I love the design that Vilgax has, especially the Gurren Lagann looking glasses. They look super dope. Most of the design elements are similar to classic a bit, but these shoulder pads with cloth go burr. And we even get to see a mini interaction between Azimuth and Vilgax, where Vilgax bashes on Azimuth like he's getting dunked into a hoop for 50 points. If you can't already tell, they are not at all friends. So with the fact that he is indeed fully intent on removing the Charnitrix from Ben, upon their first meeting, he was hell-bent on ripping it off of him. We can see it here where he's crashing in, shouting at Ben that he will take the watch off of him. But over the course of Ben's childhood into his teen years, we see where they are a lot more friendly, as Vilgax offers to help Albedo's situation. The situation being that Albedo tried to make his own version of the Charnitrix, which he failed at, and is now stuck in a mutated form, which leaves him in constant pain, like every day. However, Vilgax has many Galvans that work under him, trying to find a cure for Albedo, and he uses that to reassure Ben that it will be fine. Now, side note, Albedo and Ben have a pretty neat relationship, since he was one of the first people who weren't related to Ben by blood who tried to help him with the Charnitrix. So you can assume that he has a fondness for him. And I mean, this dynamic between Ben and Vilgax is an even better relationship than what Prime Ben has with Azimuth, and I personally love it. Now, I like the way Jirarkin is shaping the lore of this AU. It makes me want to make my own, to be honest. Soon, my precious, soon. And the dynamic between Ben, his watch, and his aliens are priceless. And if you want to see me do more art videos for Charnitrix or otherwise, you can join me on Wednesdays when I'll be streaming. Make sure you follow Jirarkin for more Charnitrix updates. Also, watch another video. I'm pretty sure there's another great one right here on the screen.